96%. That's how many online gamblers lost money in a study of over 700,000 people. The researchers who crunched those numbers found that almost everyone who bets walks away poorer. And it isn't because they were unlucky. Nothing here is illegal, and nothing is hidden. The price of every bet you place includes the operator's margin. It is printed in the odds, and it does not depend on who wins the game. So here is the question this video answers. If the margin is guaranteed, and you are the one paying it, what exactly are you buying? The ads are everywhere. A guy on your feed wins $5,000 on a single bet. Your friends are talking about their parlays. The app icon sits on your phone, one tap away. It feels like easy money, and the companies behind it spend billions to make it feel that way. But here's what they don't show you: the math. Every bet you place, the house takes a cut. It's called the house edge, and it's designed to guarantee the company profits no matter who wins the game. This isn't a warning about a few bad apples. It's a warning about the whole system. And it's not just about the money you lose today. It's about the money you could have saved, invested, or used to build a future. So this video takes the product apart: what the odds actually price in, what the design of the app rewards, and what 7 years of it costs somebody in real money. Let's start with the most important concept: the house edge. It's the built-in advantage that the sportsbook has over you. When you bet $100 on a football game, the odds aren't fair. They're adjusted so that the company makes money on average. Finance professor Scott Baker puts it bluntly: the average sports bet loses around 10% or more of your bet. So on that $100 bet, you're likely to lose about $10. That's not a prediction for one bet. It's an average over many bets. Over time, those $10 losses add up. Think of it like a toll booth on a highway. You pay a small fee every time you pass through. The toll booth doesn't care if you win or lose the game. It just collects its cut. And the more you drive, the more you pay. Same with betting. The house edge is a tax on every wager, and it's the reason why the industry earned over $11 billion in 2023. That money came from bettors' pockets, and you're the one paying the toll. You've seen the stories. Someone hits a parlay and turns $20 into $10,000. It's all over social media. But those stories are the exception, not the rule. The research is clear. Less than 5% of all gamblers are able to earn a profit. That's 1 in 20. And the study of over 700,000 online gamblers found that 96% lost money. So why do you keep hearing about the winners? Because the winners are the ones the apps want you to see. They're the marketing. DraftKings spent over $1.38 billion on marketing and sales in 2025. That spending buys the ads, the promotions, and the sponsorships you see everywhere. Nobody buys advertising to show you the losses. It's like a casino that points to the person who hit the jackpot and ignores the hundreds who lost their rent money. The illusion of winning is a powerful drug, but the math doesn't lie. Most people lose, and the apps rely on you believing you'll be the exception. How did we get here? It starts with access. Since the Supreme Court legalized sports betting in 2018, 30 states have allowed online gambling. That means the casino is in your pocket. You don't have to drive anywhere. You don't have to wait in line. You just open the app and place a bet in seconds. And that's by design. The apps are engineered for convenience. They offer instant deposits, lightning-fast odds, and in-game betting that lets you wager on every single play. The faster you can bet, the more you'll bet. And the more you bet, the more the house makes. Combine that with promotions, free bets, deposit matches, risk-free offers, and it's a one-way street to your wallet. These apps are like a slot machine on your phone, but they're even more dangerous because they're disguised as entertainment. They feel like a game, but they're actually a business model built on your losses. It's not just money, it's time. A study found that young men aged 18 to 25 in states with legal sports betting started spending almost 2 extra hours a day on leisure, mainly watching TV and socializing, at the expense of education and work. 2 hours a day, that's 14 hours a week. Over a year, that's over 700 hours, the equivalent of more than 4 months of full-time work. And what do they get for it? Lost productivity, missed study time, and fewer opportunities to build skills. That's a hidden cost that doesn't show up on your bank statement, but it wrecks your future earnings. Imagine if you spent those 2 hours a day learning a new skill or working a part-time job. You could be earning money, building a career, or investing in yourself. Instead, you're staring at a screen. waiting for the next touchdown. The apps don't just take your money, they take your life. The consequences go beyond the money you lose on bets. Legalized sports betting has been linked to serious financial problems. Researchers comparing states that legalized online gambling with states that didn't estimate that bankruptcies rose 25 to 30% more, and that debt sent to collectors climbed about 8%. Those are early findings from working papers, not settled numbers. That's not a small bump. That's a wave of financial distress. A study found that people who put money into online sports betting accounts reduced their investing by an average of 14%. That's money they could have put into stocks, retirement accounts, or a down payment on a house. Instead, it went to the sports book. And the effects linger. Higher credit card balances, lower credit scores, and fewer long-term investments. It's like a wrecking ball to your financial future. And none of it requires anybody to cheat. It follows from a margin that applies to every bet, every day, for as long as you keep placing them. Why is it so hard to stop? It's the psychology of addiction. The apps use variable rewards. You don't know when you're going to win, so you keep pulling the lever. It's the same mechanism as a slot machine, and near misses come free with sport. You lose by a single point, or your parlay fails on the last leg. Those near misses make you think you were so close that you'll win next time. But that's the trap. Coming close changes nothing about the next bet, and the margin is exactly the same either way. And the apps use notifications, streaks, and personalized promotions to pull you back in. You get a push notification, free bet for you. You check the odds. You place a bet. It's a cycle. And it's particularly effective on young people. A Fairleigh Dickinson survey found that 10% of men aged 18 to 30 reported behaviors that would mark them as problem gamblers, compared to about 3% in the overall population. That's more than triple the rate. Whatever the intent behind the design, the effect is a habit that's hard to break. So who's really winning? The sports betting industry. In 2023, they earned over $11 billion in revenue. That's $11 billion that came out of bettors' pockets. And it's not just the companies. States also get a cut. In 2023, state tax revenue from sports betting was $1.8 billion. The states are in on it too. They've legalized gambling because it brings in tax money. But that tax money comes at a cost. The social and economic damage, bankruptcies, debt, lost productivity, may well outweigh the tax revenue, though the researchers themselves say the net effect is still an open question. And the industry knows that a small percentage of users generate most of their profits. They're called whales or high rollers. The rest of us are just small fish. But the margin doesn't discriminate. It applies to the whale and to the person betting $5 on a Sunday. The house edge is what makes sure that, on average, every bettor loses. So when you bet, you aren't only gambling against the odds, you're paying a fee to do it, on every single bet, whether you win that one or not. Some people try to justify betting by comparing it to investing. They say, investing is risky too, so why not bet? But that's wrong. Investing has a positive expected return over time. The stock market has gone up over the long run. Sports betting has a negative expected return. The house edge guarantees that you lose money on average. The difference is fundamental. When you invest, you're buying a piece of a business that creates value. When you bet, you're just transferring money from your pocket to the sportsbook, and the odds are stacked against you. Think of it this way. Investing is like planting a garden. You water it, you wait, and you eventually get a harvest. Betting is like setting fire to your money to keep warm. It might feel good for a moment, but it doesn't create anything, and the fire will burn through your savings fast. So if you're thinking about betting as a way to grow your money, you're fooling yourself. The only person who's guaranteed to grow their money is the house. Every dollar you bet is a dollar you're not saving or investing, and that has a huge opportunity cost. Let's say you bet $50 a week. On average, you lose 10%, so that's $5 a week. Over a year, that's $260. Doesn't sound like much, right? But over 10 years, that's $2,600. And if you had invested that $50 a week instead, at a 7% return, you'd have over $20,000 after 10 years. That's the opportunity cost. The money you lose on bets isn't just gone, it's gone with the potential growth it could have had. It's like throwing away a single seed. You might not miss it now, but if you'd planted it, it could have grown into a tree that provided shade for years. The apps want you to focus on the immediate thrill, not the long-term loss. But the math is clear. Every bet you make moves you further from your financial goals. And the earlier you start, the more you lose, because you're missing out on years of compounding. North Carolina, 7 years of sports betting. Howard is a man in his mid-20s, and what happened to him is documented, not dramatized. The apps made it effortless. Deposit, tap, bet. No friction, no barriers. He told Investopedia that he lost as much as $40,000 a year. At that rate, 7 years adds up to as much as $280,000. Researchers studying legalized betting find exactly this pattern in the aggregate. Higher credit card balances, less access to credit, and a drop in longer-term, higher-yield investments. Eventually, he hit rock bottom. He joined Gamblers Anonymous and quit, but the damage was done. The money was gone, and so were the years of saving and investing it could have paid for. He sat in a Gamblers Anonymous meeting and said the number out loud. High school senior, 18 years old. Ulysses Fitzgerald had never placed a bet in his life. Then he saw an influencer on social media win $5,000 on a single bet. It looked so easy. The influencer made it seem like a sure thing. So Ulysses took $25 of his birthday money and placed his first bet. He lost. He tried again, and he lost more than he ever won back. He'd been chasing that initial win, the one he saw in the video. But the losses kept piling up. Chasing a loss to win it back is the pattern researchers see again and again, and it's what turns one bet into a habit. Eventually, he realized he was in over his head. He deleted the app and told his friends. He got out before it spiraled. He'd lost a fraction of what Howard lost. The difference between them wasn't discipline or intelligence. It was how early somebody stopped. He deleted the app on a Tuesday, $25 lighter, and went back to watching the game for the games. So here's the bottom line. The house edge means you lose money on average. The app is built to be easy to open and easy to deposit into, and whatever the intention behind that, the effect is that you play more. And the costs go well beyond the money you bet. You lose time, productivity, and the chance to build real wealth. The best move is to stay away entirely. If you're already betting, stop before it gets worse. Delete the apps, block the sites, tell your friends. And if you're tempted to start, remember the numbers. 96% of online gamblers lose. You're not the exception, you're the rule. Instead, put that money to work. Invest it in a low-cost index fund. Build an emergency fund. Learn a skill that increases your earning potential. That's how you build wealth. Not by betting on games, but by playing the long game. The odds are in your favor when you invest in yourself. If this video made you think twice about betting, take one action right now. Check your phone for any betting apps. If you see one, delete it. It takes 30 seconds. And tell me in the comments, did you delete an app today? Or maybe you've never bet. Share your thoughts on how these apps affect young people. I read every comment, and if you want to protect your finances, subscribe and hit the bell. I make videos like this every week to help you make smarter money decisions. Thanks for watching.